Hello and welcome to Behind the Glass. This is the Collections and Research Wing of the Museum of Ontario Archaeology. This building was originally constructed as part of the Sustainable Archaeology project started by Dr. Neal Ferris and Dr. Aubrey Cannon to provide space for archaeological materials covered from Ontario. If you've seen our current feature exhibition, Who Cares About the Past?, you might know that archaeology in Ontario is driven by development. Since the 1970s, every time a new road or building is built, the construction company must hire an archaeologist licensed by the Ministry of Heritage, Sports, Tourism and Cultural Industries to investigate the site. For years, these archaeologists didn't have anywhere central to store the items they found. Instead, they were stored in regular storage units, basements, and offices. These storage systems were not only bad for the artifacts themselves, as the storage was often not up to conservation standards, but they also meant researchers could not access them. Dr. Ferris and Dr. Cannon applied for money from the government to build storage facilities for all these archaeological materials. They built two sites, one here in London at the University of Western Ontario and one at McMaster University in Hamilton. These sites were specifically designed to house archaeological collections. In December 2008, the assets, including the building and all the materials, were transferred from Western to the Museum of Ontario Archaeology. This is the Museum of Ontario Archaeology's Sustainable Collections Repository. It houses all of the archaeological material that the museum has been contracted to store. There are 26 rows. In each row, there are 26 columns. Each column has 16 shelves, and each shelf holds 6 to 8 boxes. In total, this space can store 54,000 boxes, equaling millions of archaeological materials. These boxes are custom-designed boxes to help keep the objects safe. They are made of a blend of polyethylene and polypropylene, two types of plastics that are water-resistant and will not affect the objects. The repository's temperature and humidity levels are moderated, as both those things can have drastic effects on artifacts. Keep an eye out on our social media page to learn more about these materials. The repository is great for the objects themselves, as well as researchers, descendant communities, including First Nations, Inuit, and Métis, and anyone else looking to connect with or study materials from MOA's collection. The complex cataloging and storage system enables our collection staff to locate and provide access to materials that may otherwise have been locked away and hard to get. This encourages academic study of the history and archaeology of Ontario and allows us to help descendant communities access and engage with their own heritage materials, something we are very passionate about. These materials are also available for us to use in interpretation, telling the stories of Ontario archaeology in our galleries and online. We're going above the repository to look at the workspace here. Above the repository, there is a workspace where all the repackaging and some of the research is done. Repackaging is the important process of ensuring that all the objects are stored in the best conditions possible. In this space, we have two types of 3D scanners and a photography area for collections research and maintenance. Photography and 3D imaging allow us to share our objects online with people like you, as well as to catalog the objects for our own database. These types of imaging help us provide access and share information in ways that are less damaging to the objects and help us track their condition over a long span of time. We can also use images to share our objects in new ways, such as through virtual and augmented reality experiences. Researchers are also welcome during regular years to use this space to examine objects in our collection. We hope you've enjoyed coming behind the scenes at MOA. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and our YouTube page to learn more.